Fighter is an aerial action thriller in which the top IAF aviators come together in the face of imminent danger. It has been getting some mixed reviews and going through some rough times at the box office. Here are the 4 things that I liked about the movie. Hrithik Roshan. Patty is the anchor of the movie, and the movie revolves around him. He carries the weight of the movie on his shoulders and delivers an excellent performance both physically and emotionally. The way that his eyes reflect the passion for flying and depths of his sorrow and pain is remarkable. Only Hrithik could pull off the dialogues in this movie, be it serious or funny. Anyone else saying the same lines would just look very forceful or cringy. Focusing on the squad. As good as Patty is, I don't think the story would have worked this well without the entire team, as a single pilot, however exceptional, cannot win against the enemy single handedly. I like the fact that they try to keep Patty somewhat grounded and not show him taking out 10 to 15 enemy fighter jets all on his own, something we are used to seeing in the Bollywood. Because in order to defeat the enemy, a coordinated teamwork and synergy are required. And the movie does show them bonding and training together, building their confidence in each other and understanding their respective roles. Differentiation. It is almost impossible not to compare this movie with Top Gun, based on the trailer and the premise. However, Fighter smartly chooses to tell its own story rather than trying to remake Tom Cruise's blockbuster. I was afraid that they would try to replicate the brotherhood bond between Maverick and Goose, or the competitive rivalry between Maverick and Iceman. Thankfully, they stuck to their own guns, although you can see some traces of inspiration taken from it. Background score and visuals. Despite having a relatively small budget compared to the Hollywood movies of similar nature, Fighter provides some great visuals and thrilling aerial dogfight sequences. The fact that they used real jets wherever they could brings authenticity to the movie. Also, all the action and fight scenes are underscored by rousing music, which elevates the feeling while watching the movie in the theaters. If you're enjoying the video so far, please hit that like button. It really helps out. And here are the 4 things that I think could have been better. Villains and climax. Azhar Akhtar, the mastermind behind the Pulwama attacks, felt like a cliche Bollywood bad guy. He looked like a fashion model with his long straight hair, high on gym and protein, and for some odd reason had a red shot eye. On the other hand, we had Pakistan's best Air Force pilot named Red Nose, who literally, by the way, had a plane with a red nose, was actually threatening and perhaps should have been the main villain. He had shot down a couple of Indian Sukhois, leading to Taj and Bash being captured. In my opinion, in the aerial duel between Patty and Rocky versus Red Nose, the latter definitely looked like the superior pilot, taking on 2 of the best Indian pilots and yet managing to destroy them in a one-on-one battle. There are some very cool and sophisticated aerial sequences involving the 2 jets before Patty is forced to crash their plane into each other and eject at the last second due to the damage accumulated. Okay, now just imagine 2 extremely fast and nimble jets hurling towards each other at around Mach 1 with a relative velocity nearly 2 times faster than the speed of sound. I find it hard to believe that they would have safely escaped before the impact. Also, the fact that Patty and Rocky had to resort to abandoning their jets and escape almost felt like they had conceded to Red Nose. Nevertheless, coming to the final moments of the film, Patty and Azhar battle it out, and unsurprisingly, Patty comes out on top after exchanging a few punches and dialogues. Deepika Padukone. Minnie is a squadron leader whose job is to rescue soldiers who are injured or otherwise. What I want to address here is her weird family dynamics, especially with her father, who abandons her after she tries to join the Air Force. Why he isn't proud of her after she has joined Air Force and is doing phenomenally great is beyond my understanding. Does he want her to do mundane jobs and get married? I don't know. Anyways, it felt like a forced message. Having said that, what I can't let go of is the absolute need to force a romantic relationship between the lead actors. While there were definitely some sparks flying between them right from the beginning, the story would have been just fine without it. They shot themselves in the foot by showing a strong female character who has risen to the top despite her struggles, only to reduce her to little more than a love interest with some family issues at the end. Instead, I would have loved if she had clashing ideologies with Patty, only to gradually reach a point of mutual understanding by the story's end, something they slightly hinted in the movie.
Arrogant. Confident.
What I'm trying to say is, we know that Patty is a fighter. He is very aggressive and reacts to things rather than responding. He only realizes the consequences of his bellicose nature after Taj and Bash get ambushed by the Pakistani Air Force. On the contrary, Mini could be the leader who prefers completing a mission without unnecessarily putting lives at risk, only to recognize that sometimes the best form of defense is counteroffense. During the mission to rescue Taj, she could have been the bridge between Rocky's iron fist rules and Patty's recklessness. Together, they could navigate the chaos with calculated moves. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to convey here. This way, the story would actually develop her character as well as Patty's, and she would not be relegated to just flying helicopters and having a crush on him all the time. If you can come up with something else to make Minnie's character a little more interesting, then please leave a comment. Patty's thematic issues. I liked the way they slowly peeled the layers of Patty's tragic backstory, but I was disappointed by how NJ's story ended. To summarize, NJ tries to help Patty with the artillery's position, as he is unable to locate them due to the dense forest. She suggests a daring plan. She asks him to fire a missile towards her, and she would dive out of the way, sending the missile straight into the enemy base. Although her plan was successfully executed, she was unfortunately hit by the artillery and crashes into the mountain. Mind you, this was a rescue mission, and she was flying a helicopter intended to rescue soldiers on the ground. As a viewer, I couldn't help but feel that there might have been other, less perilous options available. But the problems don't end here. Patty's first Air Dragons exercise mirrors his tragic mission with NJ, protecting the helicopters. Yet, Patty impulsively pursues enemy jets upon seeing them, which exposes his team, leading to a failed first mission exercise. Making a similar mistake twice, moreover a mistake that involved a loved one, paints him in a bad light, because in their world, comrades aren't just teammates, they're lifelines. Lose one, and the entire mission bleeds out with them. Some of the acting. Most of the acting in the movie was very good. Anil Kapoor in particular was excellent as their group captain. But there were some instances where I felt like the acting was too filmic. I'll be honest, this one is a nitpick. One moment that particularly stood out like a sore thumb was during the rescue mission when Wing Commander Vartaman, played by Sharib Hashmi, mimics a Russian pilot accidentally flying over the Pakistani airspace. While his initial mimicry was a welcome comic relief, injecting much needed laughter and temporarily easing the tension in the theater, its extended performance disrupted the film's momentum and reminded me of its fictional nature. Had it been handled the way Leo maintained the humor while staying grounded in this scene from The Wolf of the Wall Street, it would have avoided pulling us out of the movie. Without a worthy adversary, even the greatest heroes risk fading into mediocrity, which is what I feel happens in the film. While Patty seeks redemption, his path doesn't conform to classic hero's narrative. The movie starts off as an aviation thriller and turns into a standard Bollywood romantic movie by the end. Although the movie is very formulaic, tries to insert needless romantic relationships, and uses patriotic sentiments to pull the crowds to the theaters, I think it is still a step in the right direction for Bollywood. It has a straightforward yet powerful story, brilliant cinematography, great acting performances, and a powerful background music. Please let me know if you have watched the movie and what you guys think about it in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.